So it's a lovely morning this morning at home base. Larry's just getting the van its last little check, and we're off on our road trip. We're about 2.5 months late compared to when we wanted to head off due to family illnesses. We're finally getting away. So we're heading down to Victoria, and instead of seeing it in summer, we're going to see it in autumn. Should be lovely with all the autumn colours. So we're heading towards Lake Wallace today. Hopefully we'll get that far. And then we're going to make our way to Bright. Once we've done a bit around that area, we will head over to the east coast of Victoria and travel back up through the New South Wales east coast as well. It's lovely to see it all nicely mowed. Spent the last couple of days doing all that before we head off. I'm not going to miss that chore while we're away. One of our little resident wallabies popped out to see us before we go. It's like he's pulling out. Time to hit the road. So we decided to have a bit of a long drive day today, just so that we can get down to where we want to be more quickly. And so our first stop tonight will be at Lake Wallace. So we're hoping that it won't be too busy. So we've been driving for a while, Larry?
Yeah, been a few hours. First day's a big day.
How much longer have we got to go?
About another hour, 58 minutes.
So we're just driving through the town of Wallace now, not far to camp.
What's it say? Which way you want to go, Dean?
There's a few here, but it looks like there's plenty of room. We'll just have a little drive around and see if we can get a spot looking at the water, hey? So we've just turned into Lake Wallace camping area in Wallace, New South Wales.
Caravans and stuff still around here.
Maybe this is a day use area down here.
We're set up.
So all parked up with a view of the water. Shame we've got a view of the garbage bins as well, but never mind. A beautiful golden glow over the lake this evening. So the next morning we drove on to Cowra. We camped up at Phillips Crossing Free Camp, and once we were set up we ducked into town to have a little look around. So we've just popped into Cowra just to get a few grocery items. We decided we'd have a little look around, and we're at the Bill Robinson park at the moment. We're just going to head down and have a look at the river. This river is the Lachlan River. It's really lovely down here. We're staying out at a free camp on this river, 15 minutes out of town. But if you just look under the bridge there, that's the caravan park, if that's your thing. Feel how cold the water is, Larry. So this is Bryant Park. There's a nice little seating area here we found, just looking down on the river. You can get a better look at the caravan park there. I imagine it's quite a nice caravan park, but down where we are the only people and one other single gentleman down camping.
Yeah, it was pretty noisy actually over in that caravan park there, because you've got the highway just here, and you've got the timber bridge down the bottom, and the traffic going across there all night. Might get a bit noisy. It's a nice park this side.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area, but I think where we are it's much quieter. I guess we're just not city people.
But, yeah, we're out of town and they're in town.
We're just going to have a quick look under the bridge at the pylons before we leave. Some beautiful Aboriginal art there. So on the park side, all the pylons of the bridge have all been painted. Quite spectacular.
In Cowra, there's a Japanese war cemetery, which is in the main part of the cemetery itself. We're just going to walk down and have a bit of a look, see what's here. A lot more here than I thought. This is the Australian War Memorial in Cowra. All those guys and girls that died. We're just out having a look at the POW camp at Cowra, the prisoner of war camp. It's where a lot of the Japanese prisoners, locals and whoever else were put during the Second World War. This was prisoner of war camp number 12. Japanese some Indonesians here. Don't know what the Indonesians were doing, but
so this is where we are set up. It's not a very big campground. And further in, there are a lot of trees. So if you have a small setup, there's some spots in there. Some of them are a bit unlevel. Just a couple of campers have just rolled in late this evening. They're just cars and rooftops, I think. The river is just down there. But up at the other end of the campground is the part they call the beach, where you can go down a very steep track and actually go for a swim. And this is the Lachlan River. First campfire for this trip. As you can see over here, other campers have left a lovely big mess. Larry collected. Good on you, Larry.
Shopping centre bags, and I'm going to burn a lot more. Probably another 3 bag loads in there of rubbish people have left. Do the right thing.
Some nice farm views just right next to the free camp. Quite a picturesque little spot. The road that brings you in. This is the spot that's most suitable for caravans, just as you come into camp. So I've just come out early this morning, 8:30, to have a walk around the Japanese gardens in Cowra. It's a traditional Japanese house.
Let's see that.
What do you think of these gardens so far, Larry?
They're very nice. Very well maintained.
Just a shame it's not spring. There's not too much in flower at the moment.
No.
But maybe as we go around we might see some autumn colours. Just found a few little flowers. So our walk is quite steep at the moment. Seem to be going up and up, but apparently if we keep going up here, we'll see a view of the whole garden. So we're nearly up to the highest point in the garden. So the pathways in this garden are quite steep. Maybe this is the high part. So I wouldn't even recommend somebody in a wheelchair being pushed up here, because the person doing the pushing would be exhausted. But the paths are all concrete and easy to walk around on. Hey, go there, Larry.
Good.
So I can recommend coming in early in the morning. The air is full of bird song and there's hardly any people around, which is nice if you want to take a few photos. Nobody's getting in your way. Sitting under the wisteria pergola. How lovely this would look in spring.
Just enjoying the peace and tranquility. Listen to the birds. On a Sunday morning in a peaceful Japanese
It's Saturday,
garden.
Larry.
Sunday.
It's Saturday.
Sunday.
You sure?
No, not now. I thought it was.
I guess when you're travelling, you never know what day it is, do you? And we don't need to,
No.
because this was an unexpected stop anyway. We weren't planning to stop into Cowra, were we?
No, we're supposed to just drive through and end up at Wagga, but
Oh, we decided to come and see the gardens.
yeah, very peaceful.
So Larry's just walked up another hill to a second lookout. I'm just sitting in this little shelter, contemplating. I'm just looking at this beautiful view here. Just walking down to the bonsai display. So we've completed our walk around the garden now, and just ahead in front of us is a nice looking cafe. So we might pop in there and have a coffee before we leave. So just before we go and have our coffee, we decided just to pop into the cultural centre. We decided to do this after our walk around the garden. On the wall here, you can follow the story of how the gardens were built. And now it's finally time for that nice cup of coffee. And did we indulge? We sure did. They were the best scones we've had in years, so I can highly recommend them. Now to drive to our next camp.
14 nights.
So we drove into Bethungra campground today at about 1:30, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Larry?
Yeah, about 1:30.
And this was the second time we've tried to camp here. The last time was about 3 years ago, and we couldn't get a level spot. And it was very busy here, and we didn't think we'd be able to stay. But there were some young people in tents packing up, and so they said we could have their spot. They were just going to do lunch. So we said, fine, we'll just do lunch too, and then we will have your spot. So as I said, we got here at 1:30, but they didn't actually finish packing up till 5. I was getting a little bit exasperated. I said to Lara, we should just go drive somewhere else. But anyway, we're all set up now, and it was definitely worth the wait because this is our view. We've got a lovely access down to the water, and if we had got a spot up the other end, it would have been quite steep. We weren't going to stay very long, maybe only a night or two, but seeing as it was such a wait, or it's such a good spot, well, we're just debating whether we should wait out Easter here. But we'll get in the water tomorrow and see how cold it is, and if it's lovely and cool, and lovely and warm, I should say, we might stay. Looks like Larry's just doing a little bit of garden tidying up, just for the access down to the water. Beautiful sunny day today. We're just going to head out in the kayak. See how big this dam actually is. So we're just going out for a paddle. Check out this dam. You getting ready, Larry?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
We're just looking at the campground from the water. It's not very big. There is a few spaces, but a lot of them are up the hill. And there we are, just on the water's edge over there. So one of the nicest spots, I think. A little platformy thing here. Not sure what that's for, or whether you can just walk down to it. Maybe fish off the jetty. Could be. Oh, we're getting closer to the wall. We've just got up to the dam wall. There's a little seat up there with a sunshade. Must be if you walk all the way from the campsite and have a little rest before you head back. Very dry here at the moment. The next day it was quite windy, so we decided to pack up and move on to our next free camp. Join us next time to see where we end up.